We're going live soon. Soon we're going to be live. Wait, not soon. We're live now, right now. Hey guys, Thursday night, 9:30. Well, 9:32. I'm 2 minutes late. Busy doing some stuff and forgot to shut off my audio, but I did. Anyways, we do have some people already in here. Brad is in the house. We have AZ Froggy in the house and Trail Critter RC in the house. How you doing, guys?
Hello, hello.
Hello, Frank.
And,
Trying to get everything situated here.
Name.
no,
Hello, RC Master.
Oh, I just realized I didn't change my thumbnail. Darn. So you try to go fast and you screw it all up.
I'm making noise. Hold on.
See if I can't change it real quick. Oh, got a keyboard? That's not a gaming keyboard.
No, this is my shop computer.
Oh.
So I got that servo. I found out my radio system in that car is not centering the servo, so I have to wait for my Dumbo transmitter for it.
Oh, yeah?
I let off the steering wheel, doesn't center.
That's always a pain.
What?
But that's always a pain.
Yes. And that servo was really strong. I wonder if I'm gonna break something on the car I'm using it on.
I'm gonna have to hide myself for a minute. I gotta go fix the Wi-Fi for my computer so I can see chat.
Really? Just like that?
Yeah.
Hey,
Sorry.
John.
So I'm saying that's it. Save. There we go. Now it should be changed and it should be the right title. Everything should be fine, theoretically. I think. Go fast and I screw it up. Still didn't change thing. Still my monster truck thing. Darn, I screwed it up tonight. Wrong thumbnail. Hopefully it's going to change.
Yeah, because I see the number SCX10 there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the wrong thumbnail. Well, I did change it. Hopefully it will change it.
I got the right thumbnail, Frank.
You got what?
I can see the right. You got the right thumbnail. Look.
Oh, on yours it shows.
I see the red truck. The red.
Yeah,
Jeep.
behind me. Yes.
Yes.
But I'm talking about the thumbnail on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on YouTube. It's the same as what you got behind you.
Okay, good.
Now I can get into the chat.
Some odd reason it's not changing on me, but that's okay. So Harley and Josh were talking about this, and it got revealed that they're not coming out with a ready-to-run truck. Who's surprised?
No.
No,
Are you talking about the SCX10 now ready to run?
Yeah.
Oh. I would prefer to build it anyways if I had it.
It's not for everybody's cup of tea. There's a lot of people that don't like building; they just like customizing it. So I think it's a good thing for them to actually do. Hey, Stickies.
Hey, Frank, how you doing? Hey, Jake, John Martin.
Hey, Sticky.
Brad.
Hey,
Hey, guys.
There we go.
Actually, I always thought it's good for the hand memory, muscle memory, and good for memory in general to take them apart and put them together. Anyways, any of the cars. It's just good for the mind. Helps memory.
It does only come with the dig. It doesn't come with the 2-speed.
No, I think it does come with a 2-speed. It comes with the same transmission. I have it open here right here. We'll go to it and we'll see.
Yeah, I think it does, but it's not. There's no servo for it.
Probably. Let's find out. I just opened it myself. I did not read this, so I have no clue if it's okay or not. So
I'm surprised at the price point, but nothing else.
what do you mean?
expect it to be just a little bit less, not $500.
Okay. Well, they did add a lot to it.
Yeah, granted.
Glanced through it. They did put the lights into it, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got the dig unit. It's got 2-speed wheels or 2-piece wheels. So
That's $500.
I'm gonna spend $500. I'm gonna give me another semi. So
That's true. That's true because now, when you think about it, yes, it's about the same price as a semi. So this is where it kind of, anyways, I think they've gone up a lot in price, and it's crazy. You are getting a lot for your money nowadays. One thing I don't like is the chrome wheels. To me, I don't know. It's just too much bling for me, anyways.
Not a fan of them either.
Yeah, I would have preferred
So
black.
black rims.
Yeah.
Black one would have been better.
I really
Black
don't really
rims,
like having
flat
over
black
the weight.
rims,
Was that
flat black rims, or semi-black rims.
okay? You get AR45 portal axles. Wonder how many people are going to break them and bitch and complain and go back to the irregular axles.
Everyone.
Yeah, everybody's bitching that they're breaking it, but everybody's taking them.
Yeah, but they're putting stupid power in them.
It does come with the Spectrum 40 amp brushed 4-channel ESC. Oh, it's a receiver. Oh man, I hate that.
Oh, it's a combination?
Yeah, it's a combo unit, ESC and receiver at the same time.
Oh,
I assume
I
it's the
hate
same
that.
space.
Yeah, same here, but like, anyways, what happens if you have your favorite radio when you want to run it with it? Can you bypass that receiver?
exactly. I mean, I can see those on small scale stuff like the SCX24, Losi Mini T, stuff like that because of space constraints.
boxing.
Something like this, no, come on, have it separate. It's not that much different in size. You can get the things that are like the stupid Fly Sky receivers that are so small. You can put them anywhere. You can put it sideways and have plenty of room.
Hmm.
Whose white noise is that?
Not sure.
What's that?
Must be you, John, huh?
So
What?
they do say it's waterproof. The electronics are also protected by a waterproof star design.
Well, you can't complain with anything that's waterproof.
Was that Brad?
I said you can't complain anything that's waterproof.
LED lights are there. Waterproof design. Gotta find out what they mean by this waterproof design. Crap. They got the fenders, which you did not get in the original SCX10. So you do get that. That's quite a bit of money. You are getting a lot for your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Battery tray is here again, or on the side for shorty pack.
Oh, so it has two pack braces.
Yeah, a lot of people run the short ones nowadays. So there's the 3-piece bead lock, which is nice. Before you always get glued wheels. So there's a transmission. R35 compound. No, that's the tires. Why are you talking about the tires? Oh, tires there.
Look at how many different pinions you can have in that thing. That's a lot.
Dig linkage and 2-speed linkage. But yeah, we don't know if it comes with the 2-speed yet, unless I didn't read it yet.
I was in the live stream last night, so.
Oh, yeah, that's what they talked. The servo's not there.
The servo's not there. They give you the dig, but everything
They
else.
give you the gears for it too, but they don't give you the servo. It's locked out.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Chris from GCN with us. Cool.
Hey, Chris.
I know that voice.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, I recognize the voice also.
Hey, Sean.
They both sneaked in.
That's it.
You both
Sean's in here also.
What's that?
So they have a short
Nice
little
to see
video
you.
talking about the dig.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, we'll talk to him in a little bit. So you do get the Spectrum receiver on this, which is the DX3.
It's actually not that bad of a radio.
Yeah, but
What
that
is that
ESC receiver combo, don't know.
I don't like that.
What is it? The SCX3, is it?
Yeah, the new SCX10 that was just released. I'm just going through the specs and things like that real quick. I'm not reading everything.
I
If
see
you want to
that.
read it, I can post the link into the chat. Where is my chat? Wait a minute, my chat's not even open. Okay, I'll post it in the chat once I'm done. I don't have it open right now. Yes, I like the portals with the high center of gravity. Yes, I do like that, but I'm old school. I'm for the fact that once you learn that you do have low center of gravity, you learn to deal with it and you learn to drive it. To me, it's learn your truck. You do get nice metal links, which is nice. That with the ready to run. Usually ready to run, you always get the plastic parts. It's nice now that they do charge you for it. The truck is expensive, but you get a lot for your money. Again, same thing with the front motor and the top for it and all that. So that's cool. Adjustable wheelbase, same as the other one.
Yeah, question though, why did they do that 3D printed motor and then not make the hood or the Lexan open at least?
Yeah, like or come up with a cap for the valve on this side.
Yeah.
Like,
But even make the hood with hinges or something where at least you're going to see all of that. Like they put so much effort into that.
yeah, but then they have to charge even more because now you got to reinforce the body. You got to put not just inner fenders, but there's so much more you got to do to that body to reinforce it.
So I think if you paint it, you should leave the hood scoop see through.
Yeah.
At least if the hood scoop see through, you can see all the engine parts.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they got something up their sleeve. There's a reason. I have a feeling they're gonna come up with something else.
Yeah. They've thought about it, and I think they put it into the full bodied with the intent that eventually something's going to come along where they're going to have either an open hood or some way that you'll be able to see the motor.
Okay.
Because it seems like an awful lot of trouble to have something that you got to flip the entire truck upside down to even really see it.
Mm-hmm. True.
I think that's their attempt to go real scale.
Not really. Not really. Look at Vanquish, the VS410 Pro. It had fans and everything all 3D printed in behind the grills and the radiators that you could never see, which was such a waste of time. I'm so glad I got rid of that truck.
Hey, we have RC Nixter in the chat. RC Master, RC Basher Boy, Bobby's RC. We have Swampers RC also in here. Sorry if I missed anybody. What do you have, Chris? You have a box. Chris has a box.
He's got the SCX3. He's got the 3 in front of him.
Well, I bought the SCX3 kit like 2 weeks ago, and I just opened it right now. So now that we're talking about it.
Okay, so that's the kit version. You haven't put that together?
No, I mean I just got it. You know how slow I am. The new RTR is all the same parts as the kit. Oh, yeah. So whatever's in this box, they put in the RTR, and if it's not already built into it, they give it to you as spares. So it's all there. Wow, this thing has really huge tires.
Oh, they're beefy.
They're beefy, yeah.
Oh, wow. So here's a question. The RTR, you only get 3 channels. So they gave you the dig already built into it with all the 2-speed parts, and you kind of get to pick one or the other.
I read it was 14.
But my question to you guys is, would you rather have the 2-speed or would you rather have the dig already set up?
I built mine, so I'm gonna not saying.
Me, it would be the dig. I would use the dig more often than I would use the 2-speed.
Yeah.
And mine would be the 2-speed.
For the
Same here.
simple reason for me is I've used a dig before and I know how and when to use it, and it's awesome.
I want both. Sorry.
You'd want both?
Yeah, I want them both.
Brad, I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can barely hear you, Brad.
I don't know why.
What about you, Trail Critter? Which one would you have? Like, in other words, you buy that ready to run, you can't have all 4 channel because the radio they gave you is only 3 channel.
I'd probably go with the dig. Although when I built, I did both.
John Martin, what about you?
I'd probably put everything, get a 4 channel.
You can't. The question is, you have to choose one.
It is a 4 channel.
No, it's
Inside
a 3 channel.
Inside the truck, it's a 4 channel.
Yeah, but the receiver is a 3 channel receiver.
Yeah.
No,
Transmitter.
Just
It's
get
a
a double
DX3.
radio and be done with it.
I'm talking, yeah, the receiver inside the truck's a 4 channel.
The receiver, but the transmitter is only 3 channel, no?
Yeah, that's
it
their
is.
smart system. So that if you had a rugged radio, you can bind it.
Yeah.
So the receiver's a DX3. Yeah, the receiver is a 4 channel DSMR, but
Yeah.
the transmitter that they give you is a 3 channel.
Yeah, the transmitter's only 3 channel.
If you had the more expensive radio, like a rugged or DX5,
Yeah.
whatever, you
Or they could
can
have just,
use that.
or they could have shoved a Dumbo in there and be done with it and have all 4 channels.
Hey, Tony, welcome in.
Hey,
Tony.
Tony.
So what do you
But I'd
got
go
up to,
with the
Chris?
What am I up to?
Yeah, what have you been up to? What have you been building or doing?
Basically, I took the last 4 weeks off. So I went to Florida for 2 weeks and I picked up my RV and drove it home. And then the government told me I had to stay home for 2 weeks. So I've been working on house projects, stuff like trucking. Got a really strange C-Max project I'm working on for a customer.
How did you get across the border? I thought it was closed.
Well, when I drove home, that's what the guy said. He's like, I don't know how they let you in the country. I said, I bought a plane ticket. The guy at the airport let me through. I got on the plane with 100 other people and we all left Ottawa together and went to America. I don't know how you think the borders are closed. It was very easy.
That's odd.
You cannot drive. I can promise you that. Like, the guy couldn't believe that I was driving down the highway. He was like, he was shocked that there was a car coming.
So they still let you in, but they told you have to stay in the house for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, they have to let you back into your own country. That's just the law.
Yeah.
But I have to be isolated for 2 weeks. So I'm done on Tuesday. So anyways, that's what I've been up to. I had a really good time down at the Florida store. We got a bunch of projects done down there. I have, here's something I want you guys to figure out for me. I know you all know I don't like big tires, and these tires are huge. These kit tires are huge, but these ones are bigger.
Yeah, the monster truck tires.
So I'm seriously thinking about turning this into a monster truck because I think that would be super cool.
Hey, I think you'd probably be the first to do that, Chris.
They're actually not that much bigger diameter. I mean, they're almost exactly the same size around. They're just twice as wide.
So in other words, those tires might be considered 42s or something in real life if they were 10 times bigger.
This J-Con is a 5.57.
So they'd be a 50-inch tire that they put on the trucks at full scale.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking it's like a 50-inch tire. So you'd have to do, I don't know if you'd have to do any kind of a lift or body cut or something on it. I'm not really
Now,
sure
depending
yet.
on the offset and how it's going to fit and turning radius, you might be
Yeah, that's a
in the
problem.
doghouse, but it's worth a try. It's only once it's built, you put it on and see how it looks.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
No, I don't know why they do that. Like, 'cause look at the difference. Here's the,
Hold on, I'll put you up.
yeah, here's the kit. This one's the one that comes in the kit. And the
Yeah.
size of it is huge. The BF Goodrich, the all-terrain, and then this is the regular one that you would buy. And it's such a difference, even in the thickness of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know
Right
why.
there.
For some reason, the one they give you in the kit is just monstrous.
What is that from, Sean?
That is from an SCX10 Cherokee kit.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it's huge. Like, I don't know why they did it. Because the regular Pro line BF Goodrich is nice. Like, that one's nice and steel looking. You know? And then Axial will give you this big, huge monster of a thing.
well, technically, in real life, the cars can get 50-inch tires. So maybe they want to give you
I
10
know,
times smaller, 10 times smaller size down to that particular size.
This tire on the SX3 is actually kind of soft and nice, and the foam is actually really nice. It just happens to be really, really, really big.
Yeah, I know it's like
Yeah,
a
especially when you
tractor
compare it to the truck beside you there on your left.
Look, it's almost the same size as a monster truck tire.
Yeah.
There it is
Wow.
put together, Chris.
Put that tire beside that gray truck beside you there.
Yeah, there's no comparison there. I mean,
Oh, wow.
Even the body's big on that thing.
That's a TF2.
Okay.
I don't know, you can hardly see it, but like that's ridiculous. So here's a this is a 395. So this is what I usually run on my small trucks, and that's the stock axial tire.
Yeah. Think about how many inches that is, and then compare it 10 times bigger for a 1-to-1.
So would you? I would call that a cheater tire.
I'd just stretch that onto a 2.2 wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would.
And you could-
I'm sure there's some 2.2s that are smaller than that.
Maybe you
Oh,
could
I
use them
have
as
some.
mud bogging tires.
yeah.
Well, you sold your last mud
Well-
truck, which I wanted, so you can always build another one.
How to use those tires
Well, I
somewhere,
think I'm
maybe,
going to turn this Jeep into a monster truck.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
use those tires on another vehicle.
This needs. Yeah, I was gonna say this trail grappler here, the Nito that came with the kit. This thing needs to go on like a rock buggy, man. That's the perfect tire for that.
Okay, so it'd
That
be
would
better
be
for
great.
going speed and rock going over surfaces quickly over rock terrain.
Well, it's got a really huge sidewall, eh?
Yeah.
And it's wide, and it's freaking got a nice foam in it. I bet you if you put this on like a rock buggy or some kind of a quicker custom build, you'd have a real good time with that tire.
So Trail Critter RC has his all built right now. and
Trail
he-
Critter's got a Nito on that too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what you got in your hand right there.
So that's what it looks on with the truck.
Okay. They do change shape a little bit, eh? When you get the beadlock in them, I guess.
a little bit, yeah, not much.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's interesting.
Don't forget, Nitos are also used for drifting. They make tires for drifting cars.
Oh yeah.
They make tires for everything.
Yep.
Well, it's a pretty stout little kit, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
This bag of links is really heavy. I mean, that's
Oh, yeah.
probably half a pound or more than half a pound of actual just steel.
Okay.
Oh, it's a heavy truck.
It's pretty serious.
All the gears are metal too, even the spur.
Looks like, yeah, it's good. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. My first impressions are pretty good.
So you think you have 12 ounces of gears or metal parts?
I'm thinking the links. I mean, I'll go weigh the links and tell you what they actually weigh. Just the link bag alone probably weighs as much as my battery.
Yeah,
It's heavy.
it's a heavy truck.
I guess that's good when you want to climb. It keeps the front down, doesn't it?
So have you used?
Well, it should help something, yeah.
Have you used the SCX10 Trail Critter?
A little bit. I haven't taken it out officially yet.
And you do have a Traxxas, right? A TRX4.
Yeah, I have 2 of them.
And how do you compare them with the portals?
I think the TRX4 is still a little bit better.
Okay.
It's
Is
definitely
it better?
quicker.
Is it better because you can lock and unlock the axles, or what do you like better on the TRX4?
I find it's more planted to the ground.
Okay.
Like, I know it's kind of hard to say with being portals, but I think maybe it's just the body that doesn't sit as high. So it's not as heavy as the SCX10. I know that.
So how much does it weigh, Chris?
That's exactly a half a pound, and that's just the links.
Yeah.
Then you add the gears that are all metal. You're looking at definitely over a pound. You're looking around 2 pounds of metal.
I'd say it's probably about a 7.5 pound truck.
Wow.
It's heavy.
Great.
Yeah, the gear bag with the bearings and stuff in it, that weighs more than the links for sure. So that's probably a full pound of just metal in that bag.
So you do get all the bearings for it?
Oh yeah, it's got all the bearings. It's got all the looks like all the CVD shafts are in there, and yeah, it's got universals in the front. That's pretty nice.
Cool.
Then you're gonna have to compare it to the vehicle you made from scratch, Chris.
Well, you know what though? It's funny you were talking about the TRX. I loved my TRX Bronco. That was probably one of my absolute all-time favorite RCs that I've had out of a box. I don't know, maybe in 10 years. I mean, I have absolutely loved that truck.
You still have it?
No, Rob has it now down at the other store.
Okay.
So where in Florida is your store, Chris?
It's in Williston. It's central. It's right in the center of the state, basically.
Okay, so is that where you take the stuff up from to USDE, or you take stuff from?
USDE is about 10 miles away from the place. So it's really close.
If I had a news out, I'd have stopped by when I was there.
Yeah, well, the store that they have down there is only mail order. There's no actual storefront.
Oh, it's actually just mail order.
Oh, okay. So you own that business down there, Chris?
So I got a couple of nice photos of that truck above your head at USDE.
Oh yeah.
The logging truck, and they were going around the road. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have a storefront there. It's a Florida-owned business, so I don't actually own it, which is great because I'm Canadian, and I don't want to have to do income tax in America as well. One is bad enough.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, that's.
So RC Basher Boy is asking a question. He says, "Here's a good question. What would you prefer, a fully modified first-gen SCX10 or the new SCX10 3?"
Ooh, very different trucks.
Oh yeah. Good question though.
They are very different. Me, I have the original one, and I'll keep my original one. Right now, it's not in the budget for me to get an SCX10 3 with portals.
I think the SCX10 2 is a great platform to build off.
But isn't it very different from the first one?
You make so many builds out of that SCX10 2.
Okay, but that's the SCX10 2 you're talking about.
Yeah.
His question was the original SCX10.
Oh, the original SCX1. I don't have one anymore. I got rid of it. And I actually regret getting rid of it.
Okay.
I have all 3, and they're all set up very different.
Like mine is all, I got the SSD Pro steering on it, and man, it just turns crazy.
Oh yeah.
It's there's no need for me to change it to an SCX10 2.
Or RC, welcome in.
So to me right now, there's no need for me to change. Other than portals, there's no need. And plus, I know how to drive. What the heck is that?
This thing has a grill. It's got a plastic molded grill in it that has chrome headlight buckets and a fan on the back of the radiator, and Like there's a lot of detail in that.
So it's already pre-built. Cool.
That's one piece, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like they
No,
didn't.
that's why I don't understand why they didn't like the whole engine part. That's why I don't understand why they didn't make the hood the open.
Opens, yeah.
Also, your body post there, Chris. You look
Yeah,
on the
that's
bottom.
that's right. The clips are underneath now. So
Yeah.
here's the problem. I don't know what to do with this thing. Like I could turn it into a Jeep monster truck, or I could not use the Jeep and actually put something else on it and make use of all this nice engine bay stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Make a Unimog.
Yeah, Mog or G-Wagon has portals as well. Yeah, maybe I should buy one of those G-Wagon hard bodies.
No, don't go for G.
I knew Sean would complain. I knew Sean would have a fit about that. You know what? I have some
It's the
news.
worst look. It's the worst looking vehicle on the market. It's like awful.
I have. There's some new news. HG. You know how HG makes the clone of the other Tamiya. You know.
Yeah.
Well, they have a high lift version of it too now.
Oh yeah.
Exactly like what Sean has. The only difference is that they put a 4-wheel steering on it.
That's weird.
You could do a Canadian military G-Wagon.
Yeah. So I haven't done a military truck in a while, so that's probably a really good idea. What looks worse for those of you complaining about G-Wagons? What looks worse? A Jeep JL on portals, or a G-Wagon that actually is supposed to have portals?
G-Wagon.
It still looks worse.
They're ugly. And I see them out here in Scottsdale all the time. It's I hate them.
My neighbor has one. Even in real life, it's ugly as hell.
Sean prefers the look of the Unimog, right? Since there's so many different types of it.
Put it this way. I would rather take, say, that kit or even the TRX4 with the G-Wagon body. I'd find a scale body of a AMC Pacer or something like that and put it on there before I'd run the G-Wagon.
That would be awesome, though.
A Pacer,
Pacer
monster truck.
I've seen that before. I think I've seen
a friend of mine actually built one years ago.
Neither.
So he put the Pacer body on a Jeep chassis.
That's awesome.
Now, Chris, you got that kit because you're going to actually modify and put your R4 transmission in it, right?
Probably not.
Oh, no?
What I'm probably going to build this thing locked in high gear with no dig on monster truck tires and soup up the JL body so that it looks like it's supposed to have 50-inch mudslinging tires on it. That's probably what I'll end up doing. It'll probably end up being like my new mud flinger monster truck. I got to put some kind of monster engine in it, though. I'm not sure what to do with that yet.
Hey, Chris, don't forget there are different style Unimogs. They have different bodies, several of them.
Well, see, after I'm done putting together this kit, I'm not going to want to build another one, so then I can get an RTR and turn it into a Unimog.
Yeah.
Well, just remember that there are several different body styles for the Unimog.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've wanted to do a Mog for quite a long time, actually. So it's on the list, and maybe this is the thing to do. But I've actually had these monster truck tires for so long that I've been dreaming about doing something with them, and this kind of like was the thing.
We can race that.
Probably do this right.
Race on the beach or something.
Yeah, I mean,
you run it in high
Scale it
gear
out,
and on the sand in the beach.
yeah. So what kind of motor do you guys use in yours?
I got a Tekin 35 turn heavy duty in mine.
So
How does that go with the 2-speed? Is it okay?
That's all right. Yeah, I gotta run it more.
are you going to make it? Are you going to use a lower turned motor than a 35 if you're going to make a monster truck? You have a high gear. you have it hooked in high gear, you're going to want to have a faster motor, correct?
Yeah, but if it's a mud truck, I got an idea for you for a mud truck. You don't see a lot of those. Mud truck platform, the one that you have a lot of seats there.
No, that's a swamp buggy.
Yeah, and then you have a platform on top, and you have your driver, and you have a whole bunch of other drivers.
That's actually not a bad idea. I haven't seen any of those.
Hey, believe it or not, he could make one of those Arctic trucks that
That'd
they
be
use to look at polar bears. Are
awesome.
like almost 2-story tall.
So there's a whole bunch of different ones, but I just Googled monster truck platform, and there's a bunch that showed up. But I know there's a
That looks like a hold my beer and watch this type vehicle.
Yeah, hold my beer watch.
A buddy of mine in Florida has one, and it's actually pretty fun to ride around on.
Okay.
They do have high.
I think the Tundra truck, though, that's a good idea. I mean, that's a really good idea.
You like my idea of the Tundra truck? Because I've seen one years ago on a thing about when they go to the Arctic to see polar bears. It's really tall, actually taller than the bear. It sits higher than that. It sits higher than the bear. Yeah, so maybe he should go for that. I don't think anybody's made a Tundra truck that's made for that type of thing.
That'd be interesting.
A nice like Paris Dakar type truck, like one of the big trucks in the Paris Dakar that carries all the tools.
Oh yeah, it's either that or a Tundra truck.
Yeah,
a Tundra truck that's for viewing the Arctic wild.
Yeah, I think Tundra truck is probably the one. I like that idea. And then I can turn it into like expedition stuff on top and make it all crazy. And it doesn't actually have to go fast then.
Yeah.
You know what? You should look up the Tundra trucks that I'm talking about, and you can make your own body since you've done that before for your vehicle. So when you made your own stuff, you make your own Tundra truck body. Or look like that one, or the one I'm talking about. Have to do some research on what they look like.
Just check out Horizon Forza 4.
And
they got them in there.
Don't forget to open up the hood so we can see the engine.
But Tundra trucks would have tons of torque, just because of the environment there.
Say that again.
They have tons of torque.
Chris, your image is always freezing and coming back. It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
RC Nixter says he loves the SCX10 2.
Yeah, the 2's a great platform.
Now, I never owned a 2. I've driven some 2s. And RC Nixter, why do you like the 2 over the 1? What is the big change for you from the 2 to the 1 that you guys noticed, or even you, Trail Crew? Did you notice the big difference between the 2 and the 1?
Is the pumpkins.
Yeah, the transmission location, huge difference. And the transmission's a lot smoother in it, in the 2 over the 1.
I've only ever built a kit, so it came with the metal transmission gears. So I don't know what the RTRs are like.
Yeah, because the old one had the big gray transmission. It was huge. It stuck up like a lot.
Okay.
So it was a good. It was a good truck. But the 2, there's so many builds out there that start off in SCX10 too.
Yeah.
Compared to the 1 and but the 1, there's a lot of them convert the 1 into the JKs and stuff as well. So.
How long has the SCX10 been on the market?
Wow.
Barbecue is saying the SCX10 with the Capra portal is a game changer.
Yeah, I've seen that done.
Well, the Capra portal is
RC Nixter answered your question. Thank you. He said, yeah, the pumpkins are awesome, but just got to find the lower and tighter to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I get stuck in the past with the OG SCX10. I've driven the 2s. I haven't messed with the 3s, of course, yet, but I don't like the bump steer you get with the chassis mounted servo. That's just
That's a technical problem that's easy to fix.
Swampers RC said my SCX10 has a GCM transmission.
There you go.
Awesome. Yeah.
Change it a lot.
the one I drove wasn't mine, so I don't know what he had done to it. I
No
didn't
axle
care
twist.
for it.
But SCX10 too has been on the market for a heck of a lot longer.
I'm thinking 4 years.
Yeah.
I thought
Oh,
it was
Like 2016 or something.
Yeah, YouTube is good for that. You can go back and I can go back and check my own videos and see when I did the Cherokee video.
Okay.
That was a while back.
I bet this since some people have the SCX1, they assume they're becoming rarer and rarer to find.
And he said no,
Oh, yeah.
no chassis twist as well time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about this multi-piece chassis rail they have now on this thing.
Yeah, that's how they extend the wheelbase now.
Yeah, it's got this K-Pec would call this Swiss cheese on the frame rail here. It's got a whole bunch of holes in it. Looks like a C-Max.
I guess it gives you a lot of multiple choices of how you want to do things, or a lot of add-ons.
Well, you could probably set the wheelbase something like maybe 8mm increments there,
Okay.
probably 10 times,
Yeah.
maybe.
There's a lot of holes.
A lot
Yeah,
of the wheel wells bolt right into it. That's why there's so many.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah. And then you got the side where the battery tray and radio mount, they all mount on there.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
If you were using it on a custom, that'd be good.
I think it's interesting that it has two places to put a battery, different size batteries.
So Barbecue Alternate RC said the SCX10 was Capra Portal's game changer.
Yeah.
30%, yeah.
The 10.2 came out November 2017.
I was close.
Cool.
I just went to
That's a
the
lot of
That
holes.
300.
wheel
Can you make that 300mm truck?
the back info.
Oh, that is a crazy amount of holes. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I guess it has a point. So they used them for something.
Yeah. I almost drove to your place last week.
Oh, yeah?
Last week. Yeah, good thing I did. You wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, I was here. I was on the roof of my camper putting my solar panels on.
Oh, that's right. You're almost done your 2 weeks. Oh, wait a minute. Could have just thrown out something.
I'm gonna try and show you. There's where everything bolts into. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah.
All bolts.
Oh, man.
So the chassis rails allow for lots of multiple
Yeah.
issues, multiple changes on it.
So the plastic
It makes it
follows
versatile.
the chassis rail and all the bolts on that chassis rails.
Yeah.
Huh.
Everything bolts
Pretty
onto
cool.
Only
You're gonna have to
outsiders.
check. You're gonna have to check to see if it's more rigid than the two.
You get a lot for it. There's a lot of stuff in there for the money, that's for sure. Compared to an SCX10 kit or an SCX10 kit, you get a lot in there.
I will say this, it's pretty obvious that this SCX3 stuff is like after Axial became a Horizon company, because the quality of the plastics has totally changed. And they've got that two-piece frame, which is sort of a Vetera takeoff. The shock towers are like there's so much nylon in the shock towers that they're almost got a silver twinge to them. You know what I mean? Like the plastics are not the same, man. This is a very lossy style plastic.
So is it better plastic or worse plastic? You said they changed it.
Well, it's way more rigid. Like this stuff that
That's better.
It's very stiff.
I also noticed with all the stuff that they with the dig and the 2-speed transmission, that thing is like huge piece of equipment to put in the car.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't. That's one thing I didn't like about the fender flares. They're like solid, injected molded. Like there's absolutely no give in them. And if you catch them in a rock, they're not bending. They're not doing anything.
And the amount of screws in them is, I think there's 5 screws in each one.
Wow.
Certainly want to make sure they stay on.
Oh, they're hard. Like
they're completely solid though. They won't give in on a rock or anything.
no, you'll likely move the rock.
Yeah.
Well, one of the problems with portals is the angle or the difference between where the link mounts are, which is way up here, and then the actual wheel pressure, which is way down here. And so you have this, when you hit something, you have this twisting motion, and the portals tend to break off like right where they drop down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the SCX10's got a lot of problems with that.
You know what? You know what would make sense to have them kind of rotate a little bit to make sure they wouldn't break like that? They would give a little, would move them and not snap them off. Have some type of little rotation piece on it. They could do, they would have done that. Then you'd have to worry that the things would break off.
Or just
I was watching Wayne Kibler's live, and I couldn't believe how easy the guy broke a portal axle on the live channel. Like the TF2 went through, and the TRX4 went through. He came through with a SCX10 and snapped the portal. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think the TRX4 is still a tougher rig.
Yeah, but for the TF2 to go through the same thing and then the SCX to break a portal was crazy.
Yeah.
I thought they were having it. I thought they were having the same thing with the other car with the portals that they made. That I thought they were breaking easy too.
I have not broken a single portal on the
Capra.
Capra.
Yeah.
The Capra has really good portals.
Yeah, and I believe it's basically the same basic design as the 10.3's axles. I think the 10.3's are just the AR44 style, and the Capra is sort of an in between.
Are they the same thing? Are they?
So you're saying that? So you're saying that?
I don't know if they are the same axle as the Capra.
No.
If it's the same width.
They're wider on the Capra by a bunch.
Okay.
So that means it has a longer track.
Wider track.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I know the Capra had like a, the width of it, it was kind of an oddball for axial. It was sort of in between like the 44 and the 60.
Well, Trail Critter, before you put it away or keep it away, but take a tape measure your wheelbase or from outside your tire to outside your tire. And,
they call that front and rear track.
Measure.
Hey, Bucks RC World, welcome in.
Let me find a tape measure. Hold on.
That's called front and rear track.
Did you change mic tonight or something, Tank? Did it seem a little lower? Or
no, my mic's the same.
Yeah, you seem a little lower.
Oh yeah, I can check. No, it should be the same. It should be. Have not changed anything.
Yeah, I'm like.
What's your voice today? Is your voice
like
a little sick?
10 5/8 outside of tire to outside of tire, but I have an extra 12 millimeters in there, so it's probably pretty close to 10 inches.
One of my kids ran off of my tape measure.
Oh, Critter does not have a tape measure.
I don't know where my tape is. I had to use my scale.
It's gone walking.
10 is pretty wide.
Yeah.
My workbench doubles as a school desk in the day.
I still got the webpage open. I'm going to see what they say for the specs.
Yeah, it might be quicker.
Tank, what happened to your shop background there? We used to be able to look at all your trucks in the back.
It's still there. I just got my blue screen, my green screen on.
He hasn't dusted yet.
Yeah, all them shelf queens.
About dusting, man. My wife got me to dust my home theater, like all the shelf and all that. She got to dust it, and then she came to my office this morning, and she goes, "Okay, this weekend we're attacking this side, which is where I got all my RCs and all that. She wants to dust this area." Like I just looked at her. I said, "Get out of here!" Like
This is a no clean zone.
yeah,
No clean zone.
It's just it is what it is.
So
Dust
the
from
width
all
is
the dirt on the
9.25
trucks.
inch, 9.25 on the SCX10 So the capper is about an inch, almost 2 inch bigger,
And an inch wider,
Yeah.
Capper's actually longer.
wider.
wider.
That's interesting.
Well, at least they got an offset axle on this XCX3 now. Finally. I mean, everybody needed to do that about 10 years ago, but now they are finally. So that's nice.
Is that stop twisting motion?
No, it's for the motor. Gives access to the motor, center motor. Makes it
Well, in
easier.
this case, they had to do that because the transmission has so much stuff in it that they had to put the drive shaft off to the side.
Well, the transmission is absolutely huge in it. I swear it's longer than the axles.
Wow, really, eh?
That's
Well,
what it
you
looks
never
like.
know. Frank, I might end up with my own transmission in this thing if this transing turns out to be a absolute monster. I don't know. What is I'm going to have to figure out the actual gearing in the axles. Does the portal give it some more reduction even?
I think a little bit.
For the gearing, I'm not sure. Now my audio should be normal now.
That's way better.
Hey, Jake, would you say the transmission with everything on it is longer than the axles?
It's probably pretty close.
Wow.
From what I saw, it is the biggest transmission I've ever seen on a car of
I would say, yeah.
Well, like I said, Chris, if you ever put your own transmission, I want dibs on that transmission off the SCX.
Yeah.
It also houses the 2-speed and dig all in one. So
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
I want to install it on my SCX10 just for the hell of it.
Yeah, you should. I mean, if I ever get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's why I think the kit's kind of a monster, because that transmission is absolutely huge on it.
Well, it's got a lot of stuff in it, that's for sure.
Yeah, but there's like 5 different parts to hook into it, right, Jake? Wasn't there like 5, 6 different pieces to make the transmission?
Yeah, I'm looking at all the different stages of plastic you got to put together.
Yeah, I think it's three chunks.
That's why I say it's a massive system.
Yeah, when you look at the instruction book of how to install that, and we went through that a while back, it's pretty impressive how they've done the transmission. It's kind of cool.
Well, that should be a fun project.
Now, does the Capra have 2-speed or dig? I think it's got dig, right?
It's got dig, no 2-speed. It's just got the dig built into it.
Which makes sense.
I wonder if you could hook that to the Capra, that transmission from the 3.
Probably.
And the Capra transmission it's geared high. They didn't I think they kind of intended it when they were doing the transmission. It seemed like they kind of intended like this is going to be more like a bomber. It's going to be more of a speedy vehicle.
So it's going to actually, it's probably considered the middle ground, the middle child. So it's middle fast, middle slow.
Yeah, but when you get it geared down, it's a fantastic crawler. It just right out of the box with the gearing. The transmission gearing is so high, you kind of have to downsize the pinions. I think guys were getting them all the way down to like a 10 tooth just to get the speed down because they were a little bit punchy when you're on the throttle.
I thought the Capra wasn't as fast as the bomber, but that's why I think it's an in-betweener.
Chris, did you try the 5-slot crawler motor, brushed motor? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my new favorite brushed motor. I don't know if I'll ever go back.
Whose motor is it?
The 5-slot instead of the normal.
Yeah.
From Holmes?
I'll get you the box there. It's incredible.
because
from homes?
when you have a 5 slot, the turn, everything is different. Like a 35 turn is like a 44 turn or 55 turn, I think. Somewhere
Yeah, I just picked up 2 5-slot 20 turns.
20 turn, okay.
Mm.
So the 20 turn is like a 35, I hear. So
Yeah.
it's weird how they count.
Slower than that.
It's lower than that.
Yeah, a 20 turn is like a 55, and a 16
55 or
turn is
something.
the same as a 35.
Oh,
Okay.
you
So
Wow.
that's what I'm using
So,
now is these radon, associated radon.
Yeah, that's my favorite motor right here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I always use the 20s because it's a 5-slot 20, so it's 1500 kV. Like if you were doing a brushless comparison, it's 1500 kV. It's freaking slow. It's got ridiculous amounts of power, and these ones are all timing adjustable and everything, so you can actually run them on like such a huge variety of stuff. The armature is huge on them. I just love these.
So,
Yeah.
so in other words, when you got a slotted brush, it's like a different amount of poles, like on a brushless.
No, it's not slotted brushes. So when the brushes go around the motor on a 3-slot armature, it has 3 positions that it can be in. So one of them is always on contact, one of them is always in a transition, and that keeps the motor firing in this direction. So a 5-slot actually is more like a stop sign. It actually has 5 individual slots in the armature all the way around instead of 3 slots in the armature. So there's more winds in the motor, there's more copper saturation, there's more electrical magnetic conductivity, and what you actually get is a really smooth rotation. Instead of being like cogging, like it's really smooth. It's like there's so many more cycles of electronics on every rotation because there's 5 slots instead of 3.
Isn't a 6
Yeah,
pole supposed to be a 6-pole brush?
There's the new ones I just picked up.
Is it a 6
The
pole?
ones from Nitro Hobbies. They actually call them creeper crawlers.
Creeper crawlers.
Yeah.
Those are 5 slots.
That's a new 5-slot 20 turn.
Okay.
So when you deal with
Perfect.
when you have brushless with poles, are they? I thought that the more poles you have, the more smoothness.
Same thing with these. The more
So
slots, the more smooth.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. They're equivalent to either motor in the sense of what they do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but
changes. Yeah, the changes are the same. So if you go from a 4-slot or from a 4-pole brushless to a 6-pole or a 14-pole or something, you get a very much smoother motor.
Oh, yeah.
And then more slots on a brush, the smoother it is.
Yeah, way smoother. So the nice thing about these for me, I think, is because of this coil saturation with the 5 slots, they don't run through the batteries as much. They seem to be way more efficient.
That's right. So they found a way to make a brush system more efficient, almost as efficient as a brushless motor, depending on where you go in the range.
Yeah, like there's some you have to do the math and find out what the numbers are, but you're exactly right. Like these ones, I mean, on a 1500 milliamp 3-cell battery in a truck like my Rover, I can run that for almost 2 hours on the trail with one of these motors.
Yeah.
I run the 16 turn in my Element, and I get about almost 4 hours on a 4000.
Yeah.
So technically, you guys want to go slow with of course with a crawler, but could those be fast in a touring car?
Tony has one in a bomb.
You wouldn't use this.
I just got this. This is the 3-pole 19 turn, and I'm gonna put that in the bomber. And
That'll move.
this is gonna. This is about the equivalent of like a 3200 kV brushless motor.
So you can get those to move fast for different applications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at the specs for the new ready to run to see what type of motor comes with it, and they don't even talk about the motor.
They're called crawlers, Brad, for a reason.
I know they come. Let's go slow, but sometimes I hear numbers that are low, which makes me think they would be fast for a touring car. Like a 16 turn in your crawler is going to go slow the way you want it because of the gearing. But then you could take it and put it in a touring car, or something like that, and it'll go faster because of
Those
the gear.
motors, Brett, are actually crawler motors. They actually say right on it. It's a crawler
Yeah,
motor.
and I have that same. I see Tony just mentioned that he was shocked at how slow his bomber is with the 16 turn, and I had the same exact problem. I cranked the timing all the way up with the 16 turn 5-pole, and it just, the bomber is a turd with it. That's why I went ahead and went with this one, because I was just out at the beach this weekend, and I was like, I wanted to jump off the dunes and whatnot, and it would jump like this high. I was like, that's just sad.
Because that's like 35 turn, 40 turn or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the fact that it came with a 55 turn in it to begin with seemed kind of silly on
Bomber
Axial's
came
part.
with a 55 turn motor.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. For some odd reason, they kind of they put the motor of a crawler in it.
That's weird.
That's why I'm hoping for a kit.
I think they were trying to keep it from catching fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
you
you
can
put
see it
a
moving around real fast, and also these flames
Oh.
fly out and it's flying towards the end of the car.
yeah,
Yeah,
one of
no.
my local buddies here did that. He put a 35 turn normal crawler motor in his bomber and ran it on a 3-cell, and the motor literally melted. Like in the winter.
Tony's right. It did come with a 35 turn, but
Ooh.
the normal axial closed can 35, it's painfully slow. That motor, I took it out in my front yard and drove around for about 5 minutes with it. It didn't even have enough power to actually get the bomber to roll over on itself.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to rip apart an RPR, Tony.
Oh yeah. Tony says no kits are coming. The kits didn't sell before.
Crap.
I can believe it.
What are you talking about? The kits? Which
The
kits?
bomber.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But people like Jake would want it.
I want a bomber kit, but if there's no
Yes.
kit coming, I'll just have to do surgery.
I just think Axial should release
Yeah,
the
that's-
bloody. They should release the bloody 6x6 kit. You know. Like,
I
Yeah, they don't
personally
have
think
that
they
as a
should.
kit, yeah.
Yeah,
I
because-
still think they should always have an option to have a kit.
There you go, Jake. That's all the plastic that's come out of my bomber so far.
Wow.
Must be much heavier now with the all metal aluminum.
Wow.
And I think as of today, I'm on my 4th set of shocks.
I have 4 set of
And I guess
shocks.
they're not.
Yeah.
So
How
must
come
not
you
be
keep
holding up
changing
against the
them?
metal.
A leak or something?
I've gone through, I tried the RCO 4-wheel drive Kings, and they're nice and they look absolutely tiny in there, and it looked almost silly. And then I tried the Desert Lizards, and I blew the 2 front seals out on these the first time I took it out. And then I have these, which is a no-name brand off of Amazon, which I actually blew the seal out just playing with it. Just puked oil out of all over the place. So now I have Boom Racing shocks in there now.
Maybe you should go to big bore shocks. Maybe that would work better.
That's
Yeah, it would.
that's what's in there now is the Boom Racing piggyback. They're
Okay.
gigantic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They know
so,
who makes really good shocks is Associated.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I have the rears are better. Now I have the big bore Boom Racing shocks in it.
With
Actually, you
reservoir.
know what? The stock shocks that come on a TRX4 are actually not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty good too.
The stock ones, I hated those from the get-go.
On the TRX4
Oh no, on the bomber.
or on the bomber.
Sang Vintage RC is there, and he says Kyosho makes really good shocks too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So does Tamiya. Tamiya makes really good shocks too.
No, Tamiya makes spring shocks. Like they're just like no, they don't even have oil in them.
No, Tamiya
At all.
makes their own aftermarket oil-filled dampers. They do.
Yeah, I know. I have one right here.
Yeah,
Whoa,
they're super
it went
nice.
flying.
Some
Yeah,
people say that.
I actually took the springs out of the ones on the Tamiya Tundra. I took the
Okay.
springs actually out of the shock just to give it a little more flex on the.
I just know that some of the Tamiya's aluminum shocks are some of the best in the business. So that's what I've heard. They're very
Maybe in
smooth.
the 80s, Brad, yeah.
You heard that from somebody that works at Tamiya or Tamiya.
No, I've heard that. I've heard that from people who've actually put together kits and used them on their cars.
In the 80s, Brad, yes.
No, they still make
Yeah,
aluminum
whenever
shocks.
you do the Tamiya Pro kits or the R kits, you know, like we used to build the minis
The
all the time for the
TRFs?
basement track.
The
And,
TFRs or whatever.
Yeah, those too, but like even any of the kits that are like the next step upgrade, they all come with those aluminum dampers and they're really nice, man.
Yeah,
I use the TRF56 style on my RMX drift car.
Yep.
They're
Oh, yeah.
not made by Tamiya, but they are the Tamiya design. They work really well.
I also heard the high caps are pretty decent.
So, Chris, I'm going to have to come to your place. I need a couple parts from you. I need to modify one of my trucks.
Chop.
Just one?
I need to modify my toy hauler.
Uh-huh.
The white one. I want to put it 4x4. It's two-wheel drive right now, but I need it 4x4.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because
I've
it
been
just
waiting for
pulls.
that.
It's just going to pull too much of a big, heavy trailer, and I find it's too much just for rear axle. I'd like it better if it was front also.
Uh-huh.
But I don't want to put an SCX10 axle on it because it's got the center pumpkin. So I'd rather get one of your axle because it's going to be offset, and it looks more scale. So
What axle's in the back?
it's an SCX10 too. SCX10 1 axle at the back.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. You could
I can
put
always change it.
a
I can always change it. I'll have to get two axles from you. That's all.
yeah, I think you might have to do them both, yeah. Yeah.
Because
That's
then
easy enough.
Because the gearing is going to be different if I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I need a
Yeah.
transfer case. So I got to convert it to
That's
front
easy.
wheel drive. So
Yeah, Basher boy, I agree. Jimmy, it does make good shocks.
Yeah, they do.
G-Made?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of bad thing about G-Made, like a while back. That's a while back, but I don't know
They
what
make good
now.
shocks. They have like the reverse shock, where
Yeah.
when the truck's sitting there, the shocks are actually compressed, and then when it's going over something, the shock actually comes out. I like
Style.
those shocks.
Me, the best truck I've ever had was when I had my son's Jeep, and it was on Droop. I love Droop. Droop to
Yeah.
me was crazy. It handles so good, like on rocks and on side hills. It's
Yeah.
stupid. It's good.
When I first started building scale trucks, we used to use the Traxxas T-Max shocks, those big bore Traxxas, like brown anodized.
Okay.
And we would put the little internal springs in them there and set them all up in droop on the SCX1 crawlers. And man, nothing could beat those setups. Loved those.
Bucks are
Maybe that's what I should do with this thing.
okay.
Maybe I should put the shocks super low on this monster truck and try to drop it a bit. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe you want to be able to corner a little faster. You're going to want the monster truck to have some center of gravity lower than it.
Yeah, I don't think anything's going to help that. It's just going to fall over. Doesn't matter what I try to do, I don't think. If you put any speed on it at all, it's just going to flip. So the thing's just going to be fun and goofy. That's all.
Mm-hmm. That's what monster truck are meant for. They're meant to be fun and goofy and have fun with them.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it'll work good in the snow with big tires on it.
Sure.
Be all right.
Interesting for sure.
Hey, you're in Canada. You're going to want it to go through snow.
What's going to be nice with it in the snow? It's got portals, so you got more
Yeah.
room. Because an SCX10 in the snow, it's not that good because you always like barely get any traction, and the pumpkin
Yeah.
is dragging in the snow.
Yeah, they snowplow all the time with
Oh,
the
yeah.
axle.
I took the capper to the snow and it didn't fare very well either. It
Oh, no?
was digging in quite a bit.
Well, for snow, you need paddle tires or you need wide tires. You need something that's gonna
Yeah.
stay on top of the snow, especially.
Actually,
Go ahead.
some pro line tires that aren't even paddles, I hear, are pretty decent in snow. Like, I don't know, something that they have some really 3.8s that are they're not V patterned, but or you know, paddles, but they have a certain type of block tread that I think does well in snow.
Mm-hmm.
I looked them up when I was looking up for tires for my Arma. They said some of them says it's good for snow.
Proline Hyrax did not work very good in the snow.
They weren't Hyraxes. They were something else.
No, that was what I had on my Capra, and I did a lot of picking it up and setting it back on the top of the snow. Like kind of giving it a throw to get a running start at it, because every time you just tried to start from a dead stop, it just.
I think there was some type of variation on the Badland. I could be wrong. I just know that they were different.
Man, this looks like a lot of time on the screwdriver. That's what this kit looks like.
Here's one that's good for the snow.
Oh
This one's good for
yeah,
the snow.
the Wraith.
Wraith is always fun in the snow.
Yeah.
And I got
No, I
Mr.
don't
Bean
mind.
driving it.
The most fun I ever had in the snow was a slash 4x4 with the body off.
Okay.
Oh, those things are fun in the snow.
Oh man, that thing was unbelievable.
I don't go to the snow. Hurts too much.
It hurts too much? What do you mean?
Cold hurts. Hurts my back.
Cold?
Cold makes my back hurt more.
I don't want it. I don't like it either.
These guys are Canadian. They're used to the cold.
Yeah, I know. I'm originally born in
Tony's
Canada.
coming in.
I'll stay here.
Yeah, you are Arizonans. If it's not above 100, you aren't happy. You know.
Yeah.
It's only
What's
about
happening,
102
Tony?
right now.
Hey, welcome in, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, we had a couple of hot days here recently. We had 92 and 89 back to back. I know that's not for Arizona, but it's hot for Ohio.
That's my overnight stuff. So yeah, that's nothing.
So Tony, Chris wants to build a monster truck. Why don't you show him your shark body? Do you have that close by?
That thing's a huge truck.
It's in the garage. I can get it.
Oh.
I'll go
that's
get
gotta
it.
be
It's pretty
that's gotta
awesome.
be Tony's second biggest truck.
Bring the camera to the garage with you, Tony.
I can't.
Yeah, you should have
It's the
logged on
next-
with your
it's the-
phone. If you log on with your phone, you can move around with it.
My garage is trashed. So
Okay. No, just get the truck. Just get the truck. We'll wait.
I've been working in there. I've had to fix that Primal RC twice in the last 2 nights. So
Yeah, I saw the post.
I'll be
Yeah,
right back.
I swear that shark thing is like the second largest vehicle he has.
Now, any of you watched a video with the Primal RC with the 80cc motor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I started watching the last one he posted. I didn't finish it yet.
You know, I was just watching 5700. What's his name? 5700 something. He made that third scale car from scratch. The man built everything himself. The engine too, and it's a 125cc V10 engine that fits in his third scale car.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's 125cc. It's a V10 with fuel injection and everything. The guy built it on his own stuff. He got all the metal he needed. He just built it from scratch. It was amazing.
So, Chris, this is the body you need to get for yours. Okay, here it is.
Yeah. That is so cool.
What?
Dude.
Now you gotta like the 3D prints or the 3D bodies. Most people are all truck or nothing, but of the 3D bodies, I like this one all right. I like the zombie body all right as well.
That's awesome.
But it's all wrap and 3D print.
And you have a
That's
wheelie bar
awesome.
on it. That's a cool wheelie bar.
Yeah, that's RH Designs. Yeah, I mean, Chris, if you start making custom stuff for these, it's scaled just like the trail trucks are, you know.
Yeah, that's a big,
Awesome.
big thing
So-
right now. Monster truck is a big thing. Yes.
Yeah,
I
Tony,
mean, all
is
these
that-
pipes and stuff are 3D printed. One of the things that these need are actually scale plates, Lexan plates here. If somebody did the cutouts that actually look like the real ones, those would be
Yeah.
something to
biggest-
sell.
Is that your second biggest truck next to the Primal? Is it your second biggest truck?
It's an SMT10, that one.
But it looks like it's the second largest monster truck he owns.
Oh, no way.
No,
That's this one.
Monster truck look.
no, there's an SMT10.
Yeah, we
Way
got-
bigger.
That's the second biggest he owns.
Or I'm sure you can find a used body of a Gravedigger, Chris, to put on.
Yeah. Axial sells them.
There's a lot of Gravedigger bodies.
Oh,
This one is
you got
the
another